Hello, hello! Oh my goodness. I had a super goof up just now and posted to the wrong social media account, so I had to quickly fix it, but I think I got it. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, how's everybody doing today? Sorry if my music is sort of quiet and loud. I'm still struggling. I need to figure out how to equalize everything, but right now I've got tracks that are just all over the place for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway. Oi, oi, oi. Oh, hey, and by the way, Maze, thank you so much for that sub. I appreciate you keeping me running around here. It's very much appreciated. I'm gonna have to, I'm really thinking about buying that canvas screen tablet, so I'm looking at dropping a couple $100 here in a little bit, so you'll just, hopefully you rest easy knowing that money is going directly to my art career. Making it happen, we'll see. Anyway, how is everybody today? I'm gonna put on just some, since we're doing invasive species, let's just zoom in on this cat. Motor Kitty! What was it you said? Motor Kitty driving around Motor City? So cute. I haven't quite finished gathering my references. I've got my cats, I've got some pigs. I haven't picked any rats yet. I don't really have any standby references of rats, but if anybody needs to start their reference journey, there's a place you can go do that. But I'm glad you're here, Raga. Yeah, I feel ya. Hey, speaking of, if anybody does know, I've been gathering a list of safe for work Twitch art streamers. I don't always have time to research the person I'm rating, and I just, because I try to keep it PG around here, I would like to know who out there is just doing art techniques, or doing a painting, or doing carvings, or doing, it doesn't have to just be drawings, but wood carvers, and just any kind of person who's generally safe for work. I would love recommendations. So if you have them, feel free to drop those names in chat or let me know in Discord. I am on the hunt. I tried to do some research this past week, but it's hard because Twitch is fun, but it's also a little distracting. and so I'm trying to not spend so much time popping around on Twitch this week because I have a lot of stuff I got to do. I have some exciting news that I'll share in just a little bit. I think it's okay to share now since it's all official. Oops. Don't mind those drift stickers, guys. I was hunting around for pictures of pigs. But yeah, if anyone knows anybody who's safe for work, streaming, goes easy on the constant string of cuss words, that kind of stuff. And oh, speaking of safe for work, have a song from VeggieTales, guys. Or I guess inspired by VeggieTales. This one might be a little loud, so I'm gonna turn it back down for you guys, just a tad. Let me know if the volume needs adjusting. I'm trying to keep an eye on it on my OBS, but it's all over the place. Let me catch up on chat real fast, and then I'll pop up my actual references. Korean Exodus is going wild. I don't know what that means, but I'm glad you're here, Raga. Yeah, fire up Krita. Let's do some sketching, guys. How's everything going? Hey, Lagumcore, how are you? Yeah, I don't know either. Twitch Korean is closing up. Wait, what? What does that mean? So there are a speedrunning ban, and Twitch is not even close to enough moderators. Oh, wow. So people are just spam streaming on Twitch right now? Oh, yikes. I had no idea that was happening. Korea has a fee for overseas internet services. Oh, and it's turned up too high for Twitch. Wow, I wonder why they chose to do that. That's crazy. Good to know. Thank you, Raga. I literally don't follow or pay attention like I should, probably. Oh, I'm sorry, Maze. You just did the ref thing. I haven't caught up on chat yet. Thank you for being on that. Appreciate it. Yeah, some tiered internet stuff. That's kind of scary, right? Ugh. Don't love that idea. Yeah, thank you guys. Pirates didn't do anything. Yeah. Well, I don't mind a little bit, but Lagumcore, if you didn't know, I used to be an elementary school art teacher. And I still I've over the years worked with kids a lot, and so I know that I have kids that are watching me sometimes, and I have friends who have kids that watch, and I try to keep it family friendly, basically. A little bit of cursing isn't a huge deal. I don't, every once in a while things happen, but please don't give me any recommendations to people who just constantly dropping F-bombs. Do you know what I mean? Just that kind of thing. So, one of my favorite streamers has a no swearing point redeem. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with watching that stuff on my own time, but I'm just looking for art streamers that I don't have to worry about double checking that, you know what I mean? Just specifically art streamers. Because I would like to, yeah, I would just like to keep meeting more artists here on Twitch, but I just, you know, everybody has different circles. So if you have somebody you'd like to recommend, let me know. Let me know. Oh, thank you for that follow. I also need to fix my bot. Kirby Rudolph, thank you so much. I appreciate that follow. Welcome to Warmup Sketches. If you'd like to draw along, feel free. I'm just about to start gathering my references. For those who don't know, today, or not just today, this whole week, again, according to some random internet calendar, but this whole week is Invasive Species Awareness Week. So we're going to start today off drawing some rats and cats and pigs, because as far as I could tell from what limited research I did, those are the most common invasive species issues across the globe. But I would like to say, if anybody has, like, you know, if you live in a country that has a different invasive species problem, or in a city that has an invasive species problem, I'd love to talk about that and just, you know, spread the awareness of, like, doing what we can to eliminate those issues for native populations of wildlife, because it is a problem, especially in Australia. Gosh, if you're from Australia, every time I read anything about this last week, I was just like, oh, poor Australia. Australia has so many invasive species. That continent is just not prepared for any kind of wildlife outside of its borders. Not gonna lie, I thought rats was, yeah, I did too, actually, Lagumcore. I don't think about rats as invasive, but technically they are. They've been, especially places like Australia specifically, they're just decimating a lot of the local ecosystems because they were brought over on ship. You know, back in the day, there's just rats on ships and in the food supplies, and there wasn't a whole lot of biosecurity, you know, when people were moving from continent to continent. And so a lot of rats came over, especially to Australia. Yeah. I think there are native populations of rats. So like here in America, there are like our native species. I forget which one is the native species, but like the Norway brown rat, I guess, is super invasive here in the US. Which, I mean, I don't think the rats here are suffering for the competition, but we call them roof rats here because they climb, and like our native species don't climb. So it's just interesting stuff like that. Yeah. So if anyone, if you hear of any cool invasive species you want to talk about, we're gonna be drawing those today. So get your sketchbooks ready. We're gonna draw some invasive species, guys. Mostly because I need a break from cars. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yes, an animal themed holiday. Let's do that. As you can see here, we drew some cars last week, so I got my kitty in Motor Kitty. But I am gonna draw some domestic cats. Domestic cats are a big problem. Please spay your animals. There's free programs out there. We have such a bad feral cat problem all over the world. It's mostly me, Checkary, and yeah, I have Checkary and Blue Skittle. Oh, thanks, Raka. Yeah, they're great. I love them. I need to hang out on Blue Skittle's stream more. I think he's in the UK, and so I'm very rarely on at the same time, but yeah. Fun fact, there are invasive species that aren't invasive. Some can enter an ecosystem. Yes. That would be an introduced species, right? Charlie's Dragon. Charlie's Dragon's probably going to know way more about this than me, to be honest. Was it Checkary that got you here? Well, I'm grateful for that. Checkary is great. I love her. She's so sweet. Yeah. I don't think I made one of her streams last week. Well, maybe I made one. I'm trying to be better, guys. Okay, so let's start with cats. I feel like cats are the most commonly known invasive species. I feel like cats and rats supposedly are like at the top of the list, but I do want to talk about feral pigs today too. They are a problem. Oh no, your internet's dying. Okay, well, if you're walking in the dark again, you be safe. Get your keys ready or whatever you do. It's a sketchy thing, although you said you walk in the rural area, so I suppose your risk might be more like a car not seeing you. But I guess I always picture you walking around in the city at dark, and I'm just like, I don't know about where you live. Maybe cities are safer where you live, but in the US there's a really big drug problem, and especially, I don't know. Anyway, I've had bad situations and have friends that have had bad situations happen at night, so please be safe. Please be safe. Just want you to make it home. Okay. I don't even know what's playing right now. Oh, it's Anastasia. Alright. Let's see. Feral rats and pigs were likely what did the dodos in. Yes, I'd heard that about rats being a huge problem for a lot of our recently extinct species. Carrying blackjack. Well, I don't walk around in the city at night. It's been years, Amaze. I'm pretty careful, so don't worry about me. All right, references. References first, guys. Let's pull those up. How's everyone's weekend? I hope everyone had a good weekend. Again, if you need some references, I've got my my Pinterest link in the chat somewhere. I should probably link that down below. I really need to refresh my Twitch about page. It's kind of messy and old. I'll probably drop a Pinterest link down there too. How do you guys feel about, I've seen so many different options on Twitch. Do you find it's better, is it more obvious if I do like the picture buttons for links? Or I see a lot of people just do lists of links. I'm not sure which one's preferable. I do get annoyed with the buttons for links because I feel like I format them to look right on my screen and then I'll look at them on my phone or on a different monitor and they're all wonky. So if the link hierarchy doesn't make sense to you, it's not my fault. Alright, let's start with domestic cats, guys. I'm gonna drop these references in Discord, so if you want to share your work, you can always do so in Discord, but let's draw some kitties. Oh, this one's cute. Look, just because they're invasive doesn't mean we can't love them, right? Okay, here we go. Cat. Look at this cute cat. It's an invasive kitten, guys. It's very clearly invasive. Oh, look at that face, though. So sweet. Alright, we'll start off with this little guy, and I'll drop this in Discord for you. Oh yeah, I could totally draw. I didn't draw your cat last week, Charlie's Dragon. Thank you for the reminder. I can totally use your kitty as a reference. Let's see, which one? Oh, Amaze's favorite song is on, guys. I'm just kidding. I don't know, every time this song comes on now, I think of you telling me about it, Amaze. It's not his favorite song. Let's do, shoot. Here's a full body. This is a good one. This is Charlie's Dragon's cat, guys. It's adorable. Very, very well kept invasive cat. Indoors, I presume. Not hunting the local wildlife. Not being a problem. Honestly, I don't even mind outdoor cats. Just, you know, supervise your cats. If they have a tendency to run off, don't let them outside, you know? But if they're a cat that just wants to sniff some flowers and lay in the sun, and you're out there with them, that's fine, you know? Or leash train your cat. You know, start young. I don't have a problem with the idea of cats being outside at all. It's just most people let them out the door and then they're out there for hours unattended. It's dangerous for them, you know? It's dangerous for the local wildlife. I just feel bad, you know? Especially, oh my gosh, here in Colorado, I'm like, why does anyone let their cat outside? If you're in Colorado and you have an outdoor cat, you know, I'm not trying to offend you. I have Nextdoor. I don't know if you guys have Nextdoor everywhere that everyone's tuning in from, but I feel like half the posts I see are, wow, look at this picture of a mountain lion I just got, and missing cat. Outdoor cat went missing. I'm just like, there's kind of a correlation there, maybe. Ugh, poor things. Anyway, that's enough of I won't rant about that anymore, I promise. You don't even have to use the rant alert on that one. That'll be my only one on that. Oh no! Oh, come on. Tablet, why you gotta do this right when I start streaming? How evil. Hold on, guys, I might have to restart. This is frustrating. Here's a pig. We're gonna draw a pig eventually. This is not an invasive pig. I just didn't have any drawings of invasive pigs, but let me see if I can get my tablet working. Oh shoot. Oh, there it is. Okay, save. I'm just gonna, hopefully it's just Paint Tool Sci and not my tablet. Paint Tool Sci is looking like it wants to crash, so let's try this again. No malware bites. I don't want you to do a scan right now. Okay, come on, Sci. Don't let me down. Okay, phew. That was iffy, guys. I'm so done with tech issues. All right, anyway. Love for invasive species. That's right. Doherty kitty. She's so cute. So cute. Worst that can happen is I get hit by a car. That's terrible. Or attacked by the invasive wild boars. Yes. Wait, they brought... When did that happen, Lagom Core? People brought boars? Yeah, we're going to draw pigs today. Wild boars are actually becoming a huge problem in a lot of countries. Here in the US, in the Southwest, like pretty much half the state of Texas is just like, if you see a pig, please kill it. Like, they're just tearing up crops, they're destroying property, they're competing for food and like with desert species and prairie species, and it's like, there's such a problem. So we're definitely gonna be drawing some pigs today. Worst that could happen is I get hit by a car. Please don't. Okay, let me catch up again, hold on. There's an entire game series about dealing with invasive. Is there really? What is it? Wait, are you talking about Monster Hunter? Is this a reference to Monster Hunter? I don't know if that counts. I was getting all excited. I was like, oh, they made a game to raise awareness about this? About how we shouldn't just like bring invasive species places? Okay, I'm gonna take this off of randomizer and we're just gonna play what's in order here. So hopefully they're songs you guys like, but boars are not to be messed with, seriously, they're so aggressive. A lot of weird things. Rabbits in Australia, raccoons in Poland. Oh, interesting. Oh, thank you! Lucy Drell Morningstar, thank you so much for being here and for joining us. We're doing some warm-up sketches. If you'd like to hang out and draw, would love to have you. No pressure, of course. But yeah, I'll start that here in just a sec. I'm just catching up on chat. How's your morning? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, boars are scary. Boars are scary. It is a gorgeous cat. Yeah, Charlie's Dragon has a beautiful cat. We were talking about it last week, actually. I think I didn't have a chance to draw it, but I love the slight chimera-looking markings. They're very cool, very cool. If you haven't heard of a chimera cat, go look it up. But I feel like Charlie's Dragon, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost looks like it has a line right down the middle, you know? I don't know if that's a trait in Torties or not, but she's gorgeous, so we'll be drawing her for sure. Inland outdoor cat has an effect on the wildlife. Luckily, the things she mostly catches are numerous, and we don't have... That's good, that's good. I still want to advocate for keeping cats inside if you can, but I understand sometimes cats have... Once you've let a cat outside, it's very hard to keep it inside, so... It's the mountain lion's cat now, yeah, exactly. She's a very good poster child for invasive species. Well, we're gonna draw her, so... It is Monster Hunter. I don't know. Amaze, come on now, don't get my hopes up like that. You know I already want to play that game. I can't remember if I told you guys this. I think my brother has a PS3 he's not using, so I'm wrangling it from him. Mostly because about twice a month I play a video game with a friend of mine, and we've been having trouble getting my old PS2, like my old original PS2, to actually read all the discs. I'm thinking it needs a new laser. I'm not sure if I want to try to do that or if I just want to pay someone to do that, but it's going to be like 50 bucks. So, I managed to find an alternative is all I'll say, but in the meantime I would like to get some kind of a system that can play, and I've heard PS3s can play PS1 discs at least, so I found a way to play PS2 discs. It works, like, it reads some of my PS2 discs, the old PS2, but I was thinking, and I've mentioned this before, and I don't know if you guys are interested in this kind of thing, but I was thinking about doing, like, alternating movie night with game night, and then just, like, playing games. I don't know if anybody... I'm not a big gamer, but every once in a while I get the itch to just, like, play a story, so I normally play, like, RPGs if I do play games. That's what my friend and I are playing through, is like old Final Fantasy games that we never beat as kids. So it's very nostalgic. So if you're into nostalgia and you would like to hang out and play nostalgic RPGs with me, let me know, because that's probably what I would play. That and like Spyro, like original Spyro. I know there's a remake that just came out, but there's no way I'm buying a PS5. I would get so distracted. It would be too much temptation for me. I have to stick to games I've already beaten, so that I can only play once a month and be fine with that. But that's something I'm thinking about doing on Discord as well. So if anybody's interested in that and wants to join the Discord, there'll be art there. We do movie nights and maybe game nights. We'll see. I don't know. I don't want to bug people either, though. So if you guys are inundated with gamers to watch on Twitch, I'm definitely not going to want to add to that here, I don't think. I do try to keep my art stream, my actual streams art related, but it's something I'm tossing around. We'll see. Been having fun playing with my friends, so I was like, well, maybe I could just invite a few more people. We'll see. Anyway, so we're sketching cats right now. If you haven't been here for a warm-up stream, or if you're new to drawing, I like to explain a little bit of my process. I always recommend finding the big shapes. And so if you've been here before, you've heard me say this before, but find your big forms first. Don't get too caught up like I tend to. I'm definitely guilty of this. Don't get too caught up in like working on small details, like the eyes and stuff, like I just started to do. Find your big shapes first. Find your forms. Figure out what you're looking at. Pull up some cat anatomy if you haven't drawn a cat before. We may actually do that on stream. We'll see. I might pull up a little kitty skeleton. But I do want to draw quite a few species today, so I'm probably not going to do anatomy, like traditional anatomy studies today, but I do recommend it. So if you're somebody who wants to improve your cat drawing game or your whatever animal drawing game, check out skeletons. They are good for that. All right. People have planted boars for hunting like 100 years back. Oh my gosh. But she's spayed and vaccinated. Hey, good job, Charlie's Dragon. Honestly, that's all I ask, right? Like, please, if you have an outdoor cat, please spay it and vaccinate it, especially. But spaying, oh my gosh, we don't need more feral cats. Cats are like rabbits almost. They have such a fast breeding capability. Oh, sorry, this song's a little loud, and my voice is already going out. I'm so sorry, guys. Let me wet the whistle a bit and see if I can help so I don't sound like a raspy grandma on stream. Lucidrell, yes, hello, how are you? I think I finally caught up to chat. The monsters are invasive, that's fair. I feel like, to be fair though, isn't that like the theme of every RPG? It's like, go fight the monsters, they shouldn't be here. But, I mean, I am tempted, Amaze, you know this. That's cool that they put like an ecological spin on it. It's a way to spread awareness, you know? I'm currently under the effect of overconsumption of sugar that I was supposed to be... Wait, that you were supposed to be consuming? Wait, why did you have to consume sugar? How do I get that job? Do you know how much sugar I try to avoid because I constantly want to consume it, like all the time? My roommate brought home a bunch of Reese's and she was like, oh, have some. I was like, you have to tell me I can only have one. The rest are yours. Otherwise, I'm gonna eat this whole box. It was like a massive Costco box of Reese's. Oh my gosh, I could eat sugar. Oh, I wish I didn't have such a sweet tooth. It's one thing to get them accidentally, but when people intentionally do it, jail for them, for their children, for their children's children. We're going Old Testament punishment here, Lagomcore. I like it. It is irresponsible. Thankfully, I think a lot of countries realize that now. I think most people realize it now. We just don't think about it. I feel like, I don't know how it is in other countries, but I think the exotic pet trade here in the US is a big problem, especially in the tropics, like down in Florida. I know that there's like tons of this, like, just people just release their tropical fish and their tropical pythons and their tropical, lizards, and we just have like a huge... It's like, oh, this wild animal was actually too much for me because it's not really domesticated. I guess I'll just let it go and hope it lives, and I'm helping it. And I really, I'm sure they do all kinds of awareness campaigns in Florida about it, but well, I guess I shouldn't say I'm sure. I've never lived in Florida, so I don't know, but I would imagine that they do. Because it's gotta be destroying the wildlife. Having all these like crazy species that aren't supposed to be there, that are suited for other types of prey and other environments and stuff. Okay. Game night sounds fun. Okay, not really into Final Fantasy, but concept sounds fun. Yeah, no worries, and I wouldn't expect anyone to hang out the whole time either. I just, if I'm gonna play a game, for me, my entertainment usually has to be story-driven of some way. I will make an exception for stupid games like, okay, every once in a while I do get the itch to play Katamari Damacy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys have played that game. It's ridiculous. But mostly, if I'm gonna play a game, it's gotta have some kind of a story driving it, and I just find that RPGs are like, they scratch that itch for me, I guess in theory I could play. I didn't even think about this. My other computer, my old system, is the one that has Dragon Age on it, which, oh, let me tell you, that was so tempting. I had to work so hard not to play that game. That's why, like, this game will not have any, or I mean, this computer will not have any games on it, ever. Like, I did pretty good after I moved out of my old apartment. I did pretty good. When I lived in my old apartment, when I was first getting started out here doing illustration, I wasn't as good, definitely. But yeah, like for example, I guess I could, maybe I should play Mass Effect. Have you guys played Mass Effect? I think Rhea would like that. She bought that for me like years ago, and I picked it up last summer finally and started playing it, like the first Mass Effect. I've played like maybe 5 hours of it, and I don't have like, I could never, I didn't want to mix work with pleasure, and so the only time I would play it would be at like 8 p.m. when I was done with my studio work. So I'd play for like an hour, but I'd be just like, I just want to go home. Like I don't want to be in the studio anymore. I don't want to be playing in the studio. I just want this to be my workspace. Anyway, all right, I'm tinkering with this kitty too much. She's just really cute and I like looking at her, but we're gonna move on. I may come back and color her later. Well, actually, I don't know, maybe I'll color her now. Ooh, maybe I should try heavy paint. Lacomcore was recommending heavy paint. Maybe I'll try that on one of my future streams. I have really been looking at that. I messed up this cat's face, you guys, hold on. Made her nose way too big. This is the problem with drawing lions all the time. You get used to giant cat noses. When in reality, cat noses are not so big. They are little. There we go. It's a little better. Little tiny chins, whiskers. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think it's something I'll do like soon. Got a lot on my plate right now. I have a couple of clients that I decided to work with. I'm not really taking client work right now, but I had some people reach out. And so I just decided to go for it. But I'll share about that in just a second. Let's see. Thank you for the scheduled post. It would be rude not to introduce myself. Yeah, please do. RJ Deliver Redemption, what? You're skilled in drawing and calligraphy. Hey, if you have any art you want to share, just so you know, Lucidrill, this is a PG stream. I used to be an elementary school teacher, so I know I have some kiddos that watch every once in a while, and I just prefer to keep this pretty work safe. But if you have any work safe art that you would like to share, I'd love to see. I'm really interested in meeting more artists here on Twitch. So yeah, if you have, I think links are open as long as so far nobody's abused them. So if we start having like link spam issues or people self-promoting a lot, then I'll have to turn link sharing permissions back on. But yeah, if you want to drop like an Instagram or like an image, if your Instagram's not work safe, yeah, feel free to share. I always like seeing what people are up to. I also just realized I made this cat looking 2 different directions. Very funny. All right, let's draw. Remind me of your cat's name, Charlie's Dragon? I know you told me before, but I forgot. I'm sorry. I love this little pear shape when cats are like, boop, just like plopped and their little hind feet stick out like that. Middle of the food chain, so yes, yeah. Predator and prey. They're, what's not a apex predator? Can we just call them a mid-pex predator? Cats breed so much, yeah, thank you for getting yours spayed. It's just so responsible of you. I love all your little emotes, by the way, Lucidrell, they're very cute. Feel free to spam them, I'm all for. I love seeing little emotes popping up on my screen. Oh shoot, speaking of, I forgot to record. Oh well, I'll just download the VOD. I've been trying to remember to record my streams so that I'll have like an actual recording of what everything sounds like, but that's okay. The snake has gotten too big for me, I'm just gonna let it go in the swamp. Yeah, that happens all the time. The reason pirates are often portrayed with parrot is because they were involved in the early illegal pet trade. I believe it. Katamari Damacy. It's comfy in the most offbeat, quirky sort of way, and I think it's great. I've never played the second one, but Katamari's awesome, yes. We might play them. Maybe I'll start with something like Katamari and just see if people are interested. Dropped an alligator turtle in a ditch in England. What? RPGs in journal, as you say, for story. And Dragon Age is amazing. Just don't understand the Final Fantasy franchise. Yeah, I'm playing. My friend and I just finished playing Final Fantasy X. I do think it's one of the better ones for story. We're playing through the sequel, which is not as good. Definitely played it, and I don't know. Some people like it. The fighting system's interesting, but it's too fan servicey for me. I think I'm just not into. It's just a little shallow and fan servicey, and it doesn't really fit, I guess, the feel of its predecessor, you know? So it just feels like it doesn't quite match, but, oh shoot, I forgot to check. Hold on, guys. Need to make sure I don't have an appointment today. I know I have one coming up this week, so I need to make sure I'm not, like, overlooking something. Okay. Oh, that was, my heart skipped a beat for a second. Okay, I've got an appointment on Wednesday, so my Wednesday stream might have to start a little earlier, we'll see. I'll be sculpting on Wednesday. I'm deciding to do the last stream of the month. Every month is going to be a sculpture stream. So if you want to see me finish that Parasaurolophus I started a few weeks ago, I'll probably be finishing it then. Some calligraphy. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Like I said, this really funny video on YouTube about how Sweden decided 100% ban any. Yeah, they really, honestly, I feel like the US is interesting because each state can make that decision. I feel like they should just outlaw them, to be honest. It's just not helpful. It's not good for the animal. Like, we've got enough domesticated animals. You don't need a pet alligator. Like, I'm just gonna throw that out there. Like, you probably don't need one. Like, they're not really good companion animals. I mean, I'm sure they could have some sort of companionship, but there's plenty of reptiles that are totally legal. I don't know. Yeah, anyway. It just makes me sad when I hear about, like, how much native, like, you know, our manatees are impacted, and our really cool Floridian species are having trouble because of all these, like, native species. Like, there's monkeys in Florida, and there shouldn't be monkeys. And they're competing with native wildlife, and there's all these, like, parrots and iguanas, and I don't know. They're just not suited for this environment. I felt so bad for the iguanas. Like, they had a really rare freeze in Florida. I don't know if it was like a freeze, but it was some kind of, like, see what I'm doing, guys? I'm getting too caught up in the details already. This is the problem. This is what you should not do. Don't copy what I'm doing. But it was all these videos of, like, iguanas just falling. They're getting so frozen that they would just fall out of the trees because they're not at all equipped for the climate to change like that. Like, it's not common that it gets that cold in Florida, but it does happen. And so, like, the native species are a little better adapted, but, like, those poor iguanas that come from, like, super subtropical areas that just never see cold temps. I felt so bad for them. Well, I guess it makes them easy to collect, though. It's like, oh, let's just pick all these up and go warm them up and find them better homes that are not outside where they don't belong. Maybe we'll draw an iguana today. That's a pretty big invasive species in Florida. But I am curious. Like, I didn't know about boars where you're from, Lagampor, but I am curious about people's, like, what invasive species are in your part of, neck of the woods, I guess. I heard somebody told me recently that camels were an invasive species in Australia, which is, like, so crazy. I just would never, I don't think of a camel as an invasive species, Ooh, alright, I gotta remind myself because I'm struggling with this cat for some reason. Remember, guys, the theme of these streams is I need to start writing this every time. Get the bad drawings out. There we go. So don't feel bad if your sketches aren't coming out the way you want, okay? I'm struggling too. Everything's a struggle right now. Your cat's name is Maisie. That's right. I do remember that. She's so pretty. Oh my gosh. Or her name, yeah. Her name is Maisie. She's so cute. Look at this kitty. I do kind of want to color her just because I like her markings. I'm probably going to emphasize the line down the middle that I'm seeing here. But she is very pretty. How old is she? Oh, look at the little white foot right there. I see you. I see you, Pokey Outfoot. Look at your little fluffs. Look how fluffy your knees are. So cute. I've never owned a cat, but I've lived with a number of cats. I've lived with a few cats, I should say, not a number. My roommate in college had a cat. And I've got a lot of friends that have cats. I don't know if I'll ever own one. I do like the idea of taking an animal outside on, like, adventures and not worrying that a hawk is going to pick it up. Like, I'll probably never own a small dog for that reason either. Just because I would like to have, like, a hiking buddy, but I wouldn't be, like, opposed. Like, if a cat adopted me, I wouldn't be like, I hate you, I'd would just be like, well, I wish you would play fetch and not sit on my keyboard when I'm trying to work. But she's so cute though. They are cute. They're definitely cute critters. Let's slap some color on Maisie here. I might switch over and do a rado here in a second. Your face under Sugar Rush, my face after. I still want to know why you had to eat sugar. Did I miss that? I don't have any links, so I shared them in your Discord. Okay, yeah, sure. Thank you for. I'll check them out in just a second. Thanks for popping in there. Campus in Australia. Yes, that was you. That was you. In Sweden, the most invasive. You know, I thought about that. Like, of course, I was like, I wonder if I should do any plants. But I actually. Let me see what my work schedule. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Once my sorry, I'm having a lot of thoughts. Let me collect them for a second. All right. So on plants, I am thinking about doing plants next month because I want, and not just plants, but like environmental elements for like background paintings and like for settings, because it's something I need to work on, you know. And that's, for me anyway, that's the whole point of these streams, is to work on things that I'm not practicing enough on my own, just because I make excuses or I don't have time. But one of those things is plants. Like, I really want to get better at plants too. So I have been picking, there's like a couple of days coming up, I think, in the spring that are like flower based. So I might be doing like flowering plants or shrubs or trees. I need to look up more. If anyone knows of any like cool holidays that I could use as an excuse to kind of plan for. Like, I don't know, is there like a dendrology day, like a study of trees day? International Birders Day would be fun, like international, I don't know, I found a few, but I'm always looking. So if anyone in your country, if you've got like a day that you can think of that's like kind of dedicated to that, I may do something like that, you know, like on Mother's Day or something, you know, something that's loosely based. But I do want to do, like some more painting streams. Like, these are more sketch streams, but I'd like to open up something like heavy paint, or like use a heavy paintbrush in like Clip Studio or Photoshop, just because paint tool size is not good. As much as it says paint, I really don't ever use it for painting. And yeah, just like work on various techniques for painting trees or painting like foliage or painting brushes, and kind of share that stuff. And Lagom Core, I haven't forgotten to look in my hard drive for your tutorial. I just haven't been back in the studio until today. But that's on my list of things to do today, because I also want to see what I've got, and I might share those. I might just pin them in Pinterest, to be honest. So if you want to keep an eye there, I'm probably going to drop them. I need to clear off my hard drives anyway. But yeah, if you've got stuff you want to practice, let me know. Let me know. I did think about doing invasive plant days. It's hard to squeeze it all in, you know, all the stuff that I'm bad at and I want to get better at. So I'm trying to prioritize here, but plants are definitely coming because I'm not nearly as good at them as I need to be. Look at your pretty kitty and her little pretty markings though. Oh my goodness, what a kitty. So I'm starting, if anybody is sketching digitally and you're wondering like why I'm starting kind of lighter, part of this is I just color selected from the image, so I probably just got a darker pixel. But I also I like to work dark to light, just because I tend to struggle with values. And if I start with what I think is like the darkest or the lightest value, I'll end up with like a really middle tone image. And so for me, starting dark helps me to realize I don't have to go to just bright white to find a white, you know, like there's lots of other, I'm gonna lighten that up a little bit. There's lots of other ways to bring in a highlight that aren't just using just white, you know. So I like to do, right now what I'm doing is using an oil brush. So it's kind of doing some blending for me. But once I have those in there, I can go back and add some highlights. Let's actually go back to the watercolor brush. The oil brush is not blending as much as I want. Here we go. But I can do like those bright highlights with like a pen tool or something, just to add a little bit of the fur texture. Why is this not blending? Come on, watercolor. What are you doing? It's being poopy right there for some reason. But yeah, whatever program you guys are working, just you know, play with the tools. This is like, reference studies are a great opportunity to just do some play and figure out how your program works, you know. I know I don't do that enough, especially with new programs. So what I was trying to say is I'd like to use this time to also play with stuff like that, like test out a new program or something. So once I get this, once I more than likely get this Huey on, just to try Huey on, I guess, I might start doing, depending on my shifts at my day job, I might start doing warm-up streams even before my shifts, because if it's at home, I guess I could do it now, but my current tablet is just, I'm so used to a screen tablet at this point, that's just like an emergency backup, and I don't really like working in it. I don't feel like I learn as fast. So I've also thought about using my iPad to stream from, so if anyone has tips on that, let me know. I'm definitely looking into doing that as well, because I do need to work in, I need more excuses to play and Procreate. Now I can't quite tell, Lagancore, are the eyes blue? I think they're green. Maybe she's just getting like some blue from the window there. Some bounce light, if you will. Talk about bounce light. Yeah. Anyway, those are some of my plans. I would like to start potentially, I don't know, even if it's just a warm-up stream, like real quick in the morning. I'm really getting a lot out of, you know, doing these in the morning. Like, it really is helping. And I'm, again, kicking myself for not implementing this in my practice sooner, or at least more consistently. But I kind of don't like going all week, like half the week without drawing, because I'm at my day job and I don't have time to draw there. But if I could make myself draw in the morning and not use that time stupidly, like I have been, like, oh, I'll just check my email for an hour, clean up my email, or I'll just mess around on my phone or whatever I've been doing. I just want to be more intentional, I guess. So anyway, if that sounds interesting, keep an eye out for that, because I'm, depending on if and when I end up getting this tablet, I may start doing those from home as well. We'll see, we'll see. All right, I don't want to get too caught up here on this kitty, even though it's very fun to paint a kitty. We gotta draw some other invasive species. Let's do rats. Oh, I do like this cat's little gray face, though. Oops, hold on. I'm gonna screenshot this for you if you want it, Charlie's Dragon. I've also got a sketch redeem, like a channel point sketch redeem thing that I've just implemented. So if anybody ever wants to request things, I don't normally do sketch requests, but during warm-up streams would be a good time to redeem those. Let's see. Let's find some rats, actually, before I move along here. Let's see. Oh yeah, you had something in ArtShare to show. Oh, that's so pretty. Very nice. Very cool. Wow, your handwriting is amazing, Lucidrill. That's amazing. Wow, how long does it take you to do that? You guys should go into the ArtShare channel and look at some of this calligraphy. You remind me, I have a friend, we've been friends for a long time, she's really, really good. Like, her handwriting is so beautiful. And I don't know how she does it. My handwriting is garbage. I like don't take any time. Do you do practice? Like, do you do tracings? Like, how do you do that? That's so pretty. Hawks are an understandable concern, yes. She's turning 5. Aww. Well, happy early birthday to Maisie. This will be her little birthday present. Happy early birthday. There you go. Yeah, the temperature with invasive species makes a difference for sure. Okay, let's see. Let me catch up on chat here. I've been rambling to myself for a while. That's right, you guys are in similar parts of the world. Yeah. Oh, it's 1 a.m. Okay, have a good night, Lucidrell. Thank you for joining. It was so nice to meet you. I didn't realize you weren't still here, but we'll chat with you later. I have lots of questions about your beautiful handwriting, if you're still here. Aw, I love that little, I love that. That's so great. Sacrificing yourself isn't noble, it just leaves you the one. Yep, that's true. That is so true. That is being very wise, Lucidrell. I love that. I love that. Don't let yourself be taken advantage of, folks. Sacrificing yourself is only noble, I think, if the person you're sacrificing yourself for appreciates it. feel like a lot of times people who are self-sacrificing, unfortunately, tend to find people who are very, very much willing to take advantage of that trait. And just watch out for yourselves, guys. If you're not being appreciated and you're feeling like, oh, if I just keep giving, maybe eventually they'll realize how much I do for them. Please don't. And definitely don't do that for a job either. Like, you know, work hard. I'm definitely here for people who have good work ethic, but don't give up your whole life for people who don't appreciate it, including a workplace. I forgot I needed help with. No worries. Don't know any invasive plants we have, but they apparently introduced a few people who want a specific garden plant. Yeah, we have. So one I didn't realize is an invasive species here in the US, but actually is the tumbleweed. Maybe I knew this at one point and I just forgot. Sorry, my lighting is always so weird, guys. I try to keep it where I don't look like a ghost. But I tried to adjust my camera, but if I adjust the contrast anymore, I look like I'm doing some kind of intense, like, EDM stream or something. I don't know. So this is as good as I can do. Work hard, but set limits. Yeah, boundaries. Boundaries, guys. Boundaries are important. Been looking up oil painting tutorials. And so much of what bee advice is commonly applied. Yeah, you know, you're so right. I feel like they're all helpful, and that's part of why I've been finding a lot of gouache painters on Twitch, which is really cool because I've been really curious about gouache. Sorry, I need to chat and look at reference guys real fast, so I'm gonna look up rats really fast. I might do the brown rat actually, just because that's the invasive species here. Oh, never mind, I lied. I'm doing this rat. We're doing this rat, guys. I lied to you all. This picture is too good. I'm sure it's just a rat yawning, but listen, I'm a sucker for a funny face. What can I say? We have to draw it. We have to draw it, guys. We have to. It's required. He's yelling at you to get the bad drawings out. He's like, look, get the bad drawings out. Ugh, I'm too easily amused. It's such a problem. Beep, boop, boop, beep. There. Okay, that's definitely going on the list. Right? Come on, how can you not want to draw that? I'm glad you like Maisie. Yeah, were you talking about tumbleweeds? Yeah, tumbleweeds are not native to the US. They are an invasive species. But you think of them as a Western, like a country Western plant. But no, it's like a Chinese, it's some kind of, I think it came over with, I forget the history of it. It came over during the pioneering days. I'm assuming with all the Chinese immigrants who they had essentially working on the railroad primarily on the western side of the country. That's my presumption, but I could be wrong. I think, or maybe I was learning about it when I was reading about that history of the railroad, so maybe I got those facts mixed up, so please don't quote me, go do your own research. But yeah, they're, it's some kind of Chinese bush. I'm gonna look it up. I'm interested again now. This is why, guys. But that's okay, that's why we're here. We're here to learn about invasive species. Invasive. Common tumbleweed is the invasive. It's basically when it dies. Oh, it's Russian thistle. Wait, but I thought it came. I think I'm getting my stories mixed up. It came from Asia. Okay. History of the tumbleweed. Hold on. Environmental effects. The United States classified the ubiquitous tumbleweed as a non-native and extremely invasive plant. Yeah, they are actually really, really crazy bad. Whenever they start a lot of wildfires, they're super, super flammable, and they're all over like the Southwest. When I drive to Texas, okay, maybe it depends on the species. I guess they're from the Asian continent. I don't remember. I need to look into more later about how they got here. So again, don't quote me. I could be very, very wrong about where they came from. I don't know. I don't have time to look at it right now. Here's a great example of why they're a problem. This happens. Like I was driving across, when I was driving across the panhandle of Texas, every time I drive across the panhandle, there's always tumbleweeds. Like it's just so windy there, and these are so light. They're just constantly, as soon as they die, the wind picks them up and just rolls them everywhere. One of them was like this, like you can see, like look how big this car is. Like this one's huge. Like there was one this size that like almost hit my car. And one, like at one point I was driving, just couldn't avoid them because there was like 20 of them coming across the road. Like it was just a really bad bloom or something. And like a bunch of them hit my car. One of them got wedged under my car. And for like 6 months, there was a tumbleweed, like part of a tumbleweed just jammed so hard into my grill that I couldn't get it out. Like I tried wiggling it so many different ways. I probably could have cut it out, I guess, but I just was like, it'll fall. It eventually fell out after like I said, like 6 months, but they're a problem and they spread so easily because they just like hit stuff and explode. And when they hit things, like all the seeds scatter. They're really, really hard to, like, I don't know how, if it's going to even be possible to control them. But yeah, it's a really big invasive species plant here in the US. One here in Colorado is the thistle. I thought about doing thistles today too, because that's a big one here. Yeah, but really, I really thought those were native to America. No, they're actually not, yeah. Let's see, seeds can spread just like getting stuck to a shoe, yep. They are thought to be native to Eurasia, but when their seeds entered North American shipments, they entered the in shipments of seeds. It's also pretty cartoonish. A big problem, but just seeing it, I know. Yeah, it does. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, like so driving through them is actually kind of scary. Is I guess what I'm getting at, because it looks like a giant tree is like rolling toward you. Some of them are so big. I guess it just depends on the species. Okay, let's draw this rat out. Let's draw an actual rat too, really quick, just because I haven't drawn a rat in a while. This one's in a good little pose. Okay. And if anyone's like got a phobia of rats, I'm so sorry. You can look away. You don't have to be here right now. But you know, they're just creatures like all the others. Wait, I copied that. Why didn't it copy? Let's cut it. There we go. The rat does have the power, you guys. They're everywhere. I'm gonna do a little full body rat just to get myself familiar with the head shape before I draw this. If you've studied enough mammals, you're probably pretty familiar with these already, and you won't have too much trouble. But remember, if you are sketching something for the first time, just find those big shapes first. Find the flow, right? So it's got this kind of twist in its spine right here. You can actually follow the tail, really, to find that curvature. So we got our rib cage in there, we got our hips. Think about your bits. Think about what's going on under the skin, right? So we're just gonna sketch this real fast. Little old man, I know, he's so cute. I do find rats to be pretty cute. Alright, I gotta do something about my setup here. I keep kicking my power cable. I'm worried I'm gonna like disconnect everything. Here's a little old man rat. So I'm gonna do his little rib cage there. Got that little spine twist, so he's got his little feet. So remember, think about what we know. If you've been at some of the old warm-up streams, you're probably familiar with this, but I am posting those on YouTube. So if anybody missed some and wants to go back and like watch any of them, I'm gonna be posting them slowly because I'm releasing them on my Patreon first. They only stay up on Twitch for like 2 weeks for me because I'm an affiliate. I think they stay up longer if you're a partner, but I'm not. But yeah, if anybody wants to follow me on YouTube. Oh, thanks, Amaze. Amaze knows my commands better than I do. I always forget if it's socials or social, but it is social. But yeah, I've got my YouTube channel there. Thank you again, Amaze. You're awesome. Appreciate you so much. Mods are amazing. Yeah. If anybody has missed, like I said, I posted, I think the first one posted today. I tried scheduling it. I'm trying to be better about just scheduling social media posts because it like absorbs my life when I don't. But yeah, feel free to catch up there is what I'm trying to say. And then you can kind of, that way I'm not always just repeating myself. I mean, I probably will. But I talk about this when we study our skeletons, right? Like this is actually the ankle. Like this is the foot, right? So kind of like, it's almost looks plantigrade, but I can see that this is the heel, this is the ankle. So that means the knee is right here, and I can just guesstimate, even without looking at a skeleton, that this is probably, just because I know how a knee works, like if this is the knee, then this is where the hips are back in here. I can guesstimate that this is where the ribs are, and this is the shoulder, because I see, you know, I see the elbow, and I see where his little paws are headed. So knowing those kinds of things will help you know, like, oh, there's a shoulder blade there. Like, I should probably do this little, like, emphasize that little curve. I need to keep in mind his knee is here, so we got some foreshortening here, but it just helps you know where to put shadows and where to emphasize mass. You know, if you know where the muscles are, you can kind of emphasize those things. So yeah, if you haven't studied anatomy and you're trying to draw organic things, you're doing it back. Like, don't do it backwards. Don't study the outside first. Study the inside first. It'll help you way more than you think it will. It's not just advice your art teacher gave you in high school. It really is, like, it really is how you improve quickly. And it's how you can know quickly, like, how to quickly make decisions about what you're looking at when you're working from reference. And it also helps me, like, if I know that, then I can, like, make inferences eventually if I study rats enough, or if I study, excuse me, my voice, guys, I'm so sorry. If I study, like, animal anatomy enough, then when I go to draw on my own, I can draw on some of that knowledge. Like, okay, I know where the head shape is. I know where the eyes kind of go. They're on the side of the head. They got this fuzz, you know, like, it just helps you do imaginative work when you know what things are supposed to look like. So that's, you know, even without reference, I can draw something that kind of looks like a rat. Now, I'm not saying this is the best rat ever. Like, it's definitely not. But, you know, that angular head shape, if I've studied that, I can remember it, you know, the body, the pose, like, all those things help when drawing a critter. So I can remember the arms and the shoulders and all that stuff. So just remember, that's the whole purpose of this series. It's not just to learn how to copy an image. It's learning how things are put together so that when you do go to make a piece, it can inform your illustration work. Yeah. I do probably need to look at, like, little rat feet, because I don't feel like I know enough about how they work. Does anybody keep rats as pets? Anybody in chat a rat keeper? I have a friend who keeps rats. I hear they're pretty stinky. I've been in her rat room and it is pretty smelly, but I don't think that's her fault. I think that's just the nature of rat keeping, and probably how many you have. She has quite a few. Okay, so we have a rat sketch. Now then, to draw this guy, I'm very excited about his face. Hold on, need some fuel. The rat's even got pants. It does. You had rats in your childhood. Okay, nice. How was that? They don't live very long, if I recall. Is that correct? They're kind of like 3 or 4 years. Okay, question. This rat's nose. Is something wrong with it, or is it just buried in fur? Because I think it's right there, but I don't really see it. This image is strange. Hold on, I need to look at a rat nose now to make sure I'm drawing this right. So he's definitely, yeah, it looks like it's just covered in fur for some reason. Weird. I'm gonna draw him a nose based on this rat right here. Yeah, I think he just has a really fuzzy nose for some reason. That's interesting. Okay. Who has rats? And yeah, rodents in general can be smelly. That's true. That's true. I guess gerbils and hamsters and stuff, more common rodent pets are also very smelly. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've heard they can be quite affectionate though, and that they're even, like, relatively trainable. I mean, rats, I think, are actually pretty intelligent little critters. They're puzzle solvers, right? Like, any animal that has to solve puzzles to survive, I think, is going to be a smarty. So if anyone's here, I am working from this picture right now. I'll just go ahead and throw that in. Oh, I drew on it. I didn't mean to draw on it. I don't know how that happened. It's not letting me undo that. So. Okay, anyway. Oh, maybe it's just part of the image. That's weird. Anyway, I'm just looking at this rat's nose right here to kind of piece this one together. It's a different angle, but I can see the bits. So this nose might be a little off. But same thing, when you're drawing expression, you know, don't jump into details too fast. Look for the shape. Draw your shapes. Get the proportions right first on your critter, and then you can worry about the other details, right? I do kind of want to overemphasize his little pose here. It's very aggressive. I think it's yawning, if I had to guess, right? It's probably yawning. I don't know, rat people, if you've kept rats, Raga, what do you think? Is this rat yawning, or is it like squeak attacking? Squeak-tack? I feel like you could bend this either way. I feel like it looks like it's yawning to me because of the tongue position. But maybe that's just how I want. Maybe I'm just an optimist. I don't want him to be aggressive. I want him to be cute and sweet. With mice, 1 to 1 doesn't equal 2, it equals 20. Yeah, it's either yawning or screaming in fear. I'm gonna go with yawning. I don't want him to be afraid. They don't live long, and the small rodents are good at finding the way to die from it. Oh, are they? Interesting. That was the case with the rat I'm drawing. It made it tricky to figure out the nose shape. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I guess I could post. I probably should have posted this. I'm sorry. I didn't post this rat. Wait, where is the rat? We'll just copy it and post it. Oh. I forgot I had this song, guys. Does anybody else remember this YouTube channel? Do they even still exist? It's Shmo-Yoho. Here's some rats, guys. Once I'm done with this one that's screaming, I will draw a pig. We'll talk about some boars. No, that's okay. I don't know how many people, I know some people use the references in chat, but I always, you know, don't feel like you have to draw along with me. You might want to spend longer than I'm spending, or less time than I'm spending on my images that are on screen here. So if I'm not going at the pace that you like, go grab some references. I'm trying to be good about dropping my references in Discord, but I don't always drop all of them. So just kind of give me a little bit of patience on that one, but they are mostly on my Pinterest, so that's generally where I grab them. I kind of pin references throughout the week, and then I'll go in there on sketch day and sketch from them, the ones that I like. His mouth is so interesting. Like, I am trying to figure out, is that all cheek muscle? It's very interesting to me. I kind of want to draw this one just because it's so, or color it just because it's so dramatic. Let's get the big shape of the tongue in there first. I'm gonna go with yawn. I feel like his tongue is so like, it's like kind of arching in the back. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like a little bit of it looks like a little bit of an arch. So I'm gonna go, I exaggerated it right there, but I'm gonna go with yawning. I don't want it to be screaming. That sounds sad. Don't be afraid of the camera, little guy. It's okay. I have such a mixed feelings relationship with rats specifically. So for those who don't know, I work with chickens. I volunteer with some chickens at a local history park. Have for many years now. They're wonderful. They're like my pets since well, they're not really my pets. I take care of them, but they're kind of like stand-in pets because I can't have pets in my apartment. And we've tried to have fish and stuff, and they just don't last very long. Anyway. The chickens are great. The rats that they attract, because of their food and they're kind of messy and smelly, are not great. And our chickens have, unfortunately, contracted Merrick's, which is a very, very highly contagious chicken virus. Now, our chickens are immune to it because they have survived it, and most of the time if a chicken gets it when they're older, they're just going to be carriers for life. If a very old or a very young chicken, especially if a very young chicken, comes into contact with Merrick's and they aren't vaccinated against it, they will probably die from it, and it's not a fun death. It's very sad. They basically slowly become paralyzed, and like they can eat and they're alert and their brains are fine. It's basically like all these tumors start growing inside their body, and it just pushes on their nerves and paralyzes them, typically. There's a few other strains of Meryx that can also cause blindness or like really, really crazy skin growths, but those ones are more rare. Our chickens are carrying the common one. And more than likely, it came in on a rat or a bird. Because a lot of people don't realize the Meryx is a thing, and they keep chickens, and a lot of birds will visit various coops, pick up on, or rats especially, eat, like a lot of rodents will eat, chicken feed that gets spilled and that kind of thing. So, and then they just travel for miles, especially birds and rats. Like, pretty much if any coop within like a 5-mile radius of you has Meryx, your coop is probably going to get Meryx, and so they just spread. It just spreads so easily. Now I know this isn't his eyeball, but I just like how intense this makes him look, so I kind of want to just leave it like that. I'm so easily amused. But anyway, that's why I have like mixed feelings about the rats, and they bring other diseases. It's not just the Meryx. I mean, there's all kinds of sicknesses that rats can carry to livestock, and so we do have to, eliminate the rats. Like, it's like, for a while there, I think they actually use a company now who comes and puts traps out and stuff. We don't poison them or anything, because that's obviously going to damage our chickens if we have poison sitting around. But and plus, it's just not a fun way for animals to die. So I don't advocate for poison, but the trapping takes a while, and I always felt so bad. Every once in a while, most of the time the traps were great. Every once in a while there'd be a rat that just didn't quite die in the trap, and I felt so bad having to like take care of it, but I couldn't, So I have really mixed feelings. Like, I hate that they've brought diseases to my favorite little birds, and that they're like, we can never put new chickens in that coop. Like, we basically have to wait for them to die before we can get new chickens, so that they don't spread Meryx. Well, that and like do a whole bunch of other stuff, unfortunately. So our chickens are getting kind of lonely because there's only a few left. They're all pretty old. I'm just worried about what happens when we have one. Like, are we gonna have to put it down just so it's not lonely? But that feels so sad because they're otherwise healthy. Like, they're totally happy. I shared actually some pictures of my chickens in Thursday Birds Day over on Paleontologizing stream not too long ago. I think it was last week, actually. Gosh, feels like forever ago. It's been a long week. This mouth is not working. But anyway, yeah, I just have mixed feelings about them because, like, I love all animals, right? Like, I don't want any animals to have to die. But I also just like, I don't hate rats. They have caused us a lot of issues. And a lot of property damage. They've chewed through this historic coop that the history park brought down from the mountains, and there's been a lot of damage to a lot of these buildings. Because it's just, like a small museum staff, they don't have time to be on like rat patrol and like rat proof constantly, because they chew through everything. It's really hard to keep them out. But so I have mixed feelings about these guys. Like, I'm not like against people having them as pets or anything. I don't know. It's hard for me to quantify. I think I've rambled enough about it though. But they are pretty cute. Like, it's hard to deny, even especially the babies. Oh my gosh, they're pretty adorable. It's really hard for me to be like, oh, you're so cute, please don't come here, because I don't want to have to exterminate you. Please go somewhere else. I try to rat proof, keep the coop rat proofed, but yeah. Those old buildings, they're just not easy to keep proofed, unfortunately, because they're all wood. It's just wood. It's like wood cabin. It's like log cabins, Anyway, poor little rattos. But I do like their little personalities. I do think they're really smart, and like, I always, feel especially bad when it's an intelligent species, just because it's like, you might be slightly aware of this. Like, it's not like a bug, Anyway, I don't know what his foot looks like, so it's just going to be a big question mark. Maybe I'll find a picture of a rat. I do want to draw pigs, though. I don't just want to draw rats today. Screamy rat. I don't love how this part of his mouth came out. It's a little, I'm not really sure what I'm drawing in there, which is part of the problem. Like, I don't really know the anatomy of what's happening, so it's hard for me to infer from this photo. Yeah, it's definitely not super accurate, but anyway. Poor rattos. Loved and hated by many. But yeah, even like any invasive species, like, I don't hate pigs. I don't honestly, the only animal I can think of that I really dislike intensely is a mosquito. You know, like, I'd be fine if they didn't exist. I'm sure they serve a function, but it mostly seems to be one of, like, plague spreading and destruction. Like, I just don't, I don't know. Just not a fan. Not a fan of mosquitoes, but I don't know anybody who is, so. Even flies I can find something to, oh, Amaze, your little mouse, or your little rat is so cute. Oh, I love it. You guys should go look at Amaze's warm-up sketch of a rat. It's adorable. Cat Jam, yes. Space Jam, guys. Space Jam time. I was thinking of, would this be too silly? I was in a stream the other day that I had a lot of fun in because they had like a dance break redeem. So they had like a redeem where you could like a certain song would play, or you would play a song like this or something, and then everybody could just like spam dancing emotes. I kind of want to do that, but I don't have that many dancing emotes. I need to animate my own. You can tickle a rat and they will, I know, see, and things like that. Gosh, it just makes me so conflicted about having to like not have them around livestock, and there's just not a better option. Oh, so sad, so sad. I was talking with some friends about The Secret of Nim. Did we watch that during our Don Bluth series, Amaze? I can't remember. It's a great movie. I'd be down to watch it again, honestly, if we didn't watch it. I think we did. I know, I was thinking about Rats of Nim, because this is such an expressive rat, like Justin. Let's see, Rats of Nim. Justin. In that movie, he has like, there's like a, yeah, like look at this. It's almost like the same face. I mean, but great stylizations of rats, guys. They're so good. That's such a fun movie series. I was definitely thinking about that when I was looking at these like wispy, I don't know if like these wispy bits, they almost look like that stylized like Don Bluth, you know, fluff thing. Anyway. Oh, you should watch it. We could totally watch it again if you wanted to watch it for a movie night. I don't know if the movie night times are good for you though, Magnum Core, but we usually do them on Sunday nights just because that's my day off every week and I'm usually available. Preferably take a rat that trusts. Yeah, for sure. No, it's okay. Yeah, we could do it. We should do it again for sure. Fish are honestly kind of hard to have as pets. Yeah, my roommate in college had fish, and I got way too nerdy interested though in having fish. I think once I have my own home and I'm not having to move every few years, there's a couple of animals I'm definitely gonna get. A dog. I always tell myself I will not get a dog until I have my own yard. Like, I need to have a yard where they can go out and play and throw a ball and go to the bathroom, and I don't have to take them on a walk during a blizzard. Important. But two, a fish tank. I really want to keep, I don't think I want to do saltwater fish because that's way more the time and maintenance than I have, like that's way more maintenance than I have time for, but like freshwater tanks, there's some really cool, I don't know, it's really interesting. I actually joined an aquarium forum back in college that I'm still a part of, and every once in a while I'll just go in there and like nerd out about aquarium stuff. It's really interesting, but it is a lot of work. You do have to keep it clean, you do have to like know about the fish. They can get sick, you have to quarantine them, you can't just like put new fish into a fish tank, it could introduce things like, there's all kinds of things you should be doing as a fish owner that a lot of people don't know about because they just, you know, fish are cheap, unfortunately. But they're so pretty and so inspiring. We're definitely going to do a draw fish day. There's some really cool fish out there. Grooves the Space Jam. Capsaicin and bird seeds. Yes, I actually used to spray. I had a red pepper spray that I would put on my bird feeder back before. I have a squirrel-proof bird feeder now, so I don't have to worry about it. But back before I had that, I would do that, and I would mix in red pepper powder with my bird seeds. It's a great tip. I'm impressed that you know that. Yeah, Merrick's is tough. They're too successful. Yeah. Yeah. It's unfair that we punish the animals we brought to new places. For sure. Well, for rats in the U.S., those are not all invasive. Like most of the rats that we have here in Colorado are the native species. You very rarely see a Norway rat or a brown rat, or a roof rat, which is what we call them here. I think I said that earlier. But they're more in the south. You see a lot of roof rats in like more humid places and like warmer climates. But most of what we have here are the native species of rats. So it's not, I mean, yeah, they're just too successful, and humans are too wasteful, honestly. Like, we are a big part, like, we are the reason rats are so successful. We just have like a limitless food source almost for them. I listened to a podcast about the ghosts that were introduced to the Galapagos and how unique and beautiful they are, but that they're ruining the entire place. Oh, I have never heard of this. I would love a link to that podcast if you have it. I'd love to listen to that today while I'm working. They apparently had gorgeous wool. That's cool. I wonder where they came from. Mosquitoes are an important species. Are they? Are they important? Ticks are also pretty bad. Yeah, I don't love ticks. I feel like ticks and mosquitoes, for me, they're kind of in the same category. Gross. It's very pretty. No, it's good, Maze. Mosquitoes are food for many birds. Yeah, but there's lots of insects that are food for birds. Like, I don't know that birds would suffer that much if mosquitoes went away. Unless there's, like, a specific bird that is, like, super suited to only hunt mosquitoes. But, like, you know, there's gnats, there's fruit flies, there's regular flies, there's all kinds of small flying insects. I don't feel like mosquitoes are... Ugh. I just feel like we would be fine without them. They cause so many. I feel like the cost benefit value is like really tilted toward cost. Just how many diseases we would be free of if there just weren't mosquitoes to carry them around, you know, or at least a lot freer. Ticks as well. Lyme disease scares the heck out of me. I'm actually like, I've gotten more and more stressed about Lyme disease as I've gotten older. I don't know why. I just feel like I know more and more people that have it. And it causes all kinds of, we just don't know enough about it. And it's very, very common in the South. Like, ticks are super common. And I love hiking, but like, we really don't have them up here in Colorado. Not very many. I mean, they do exist, but it's just not nearly as common. Alright, let's look up some wild boars, guys, before I keep talking about ticks and freak myself out. Let's see, wild boar. I forget which one is the invasive species in the south of Texas. Is it the javelina? Javelina? No, that's the native one. Hold on. Invasive pigs in Texas. Eurasian wild boar. So it's the Eurasian wild boar. Yeah. So it's feral pigs, or Eurasian wild boar, and hybrid populations of the two. Interesting. I'm going to look up specifically feral pigs. The Eurasian wild boar is a beautiful animal, though. Holy cow. I do like pigs. Alright, we're going to maybe do that one. Let's see. Possums love ticks, that's true. They do. But there are non-blood. Yes, I'm fine with the non-blood-sucking ones. They can eat those. There's so many species. Just the blood-sucking mosquitoes. Come on now. If you want to see me get unusually angry, we can watch The Secret of NIMH 2. No, I have no interest in watching The Secret of NIMH 2. Thank you for the suggestion. That will probably not go on the movie list. Many people claim that humans are an invasive species and just parasites. Well, no, we serve a role. I mean, we evolved here too. Like, that's not true. I feel like we are very destructive. We have surpassed our capacity to like live in harmony with nature for sure. I mean, not our capacity, but our willingness to. Mostly seen by the lifestyles of indigenous people. There are a lot of species who rely on humans. Yeah, I mean, I think that's just how it all works. You know, nature's constantly changing. It's kind of like technically, if you want to get super technical, like extinction can be caused by all kinds of creatures and all kinds of environmental changes, and that's just how natural history works, right? I think, you know, we belong here for sure. We're not invasive. We're not like an alien. Now, if there was an alien species that like came in from another planet and colonized Earth, like if you're somebody who believes humans are aliens, which apparently I just found out is a thing. There's actually some, I probably shouldn't even talk about it because I don't want more people to get interested in that and then like start believing that, and then we have like a second flat earther thing. Ugh, all of that is so frustrating and stressful and weird. So yeah, I guess if you're somebody who thinks that we're aliens, that we just colonized Earth, then sure, we're an invasive species, 100%. If that was true, then yes, we are invasive, but we're not an invasive species, at least not in the current definition of the term. We are destructive. But so are, I mean, pigs are destructive. But in their natural habitat, they've got predators that have also evolved along with them to take them out and keep them from damaging things. You know, like there's a balance in nature. right? And to me, an invasive species is something that disrupts. It's an introduced species that disrupts the balance, like typically a rapidly introduced species, I would say. Europe's smallest owl species were critically endangered when farmers started to move into cities. Oh wow, interesting, because they relied on the farming. That's true. Europe has gotten really far from its agricultural roots, so a lot of animals that relied on human farming like that makes sense. That's interesting. I've never thought about that before. See, this is why I like having these kinds of themed streams, because then I end up learning. We can all learn together. I will draw again in a second, sorry. I'm just catching up. Y'all don't get vaccinated for TBE? What is TBE? Tuberculosis? I don't know if it's Lyme disease, but you get it from ticks. I've never heard of TBE, so we must not have that problem here. I feel like tick-borne encephalitis is not the same as Lyme disease, yeah. I don't know if I've heard of that. There might be, like, in different states. So, Magnum Core, the US is weird, if you didn't already know this, for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons it's weird is it's like, the states almost operate as their own countries, and that they get to make, I'm sure you know this, but they get to make their own, like, laws. So I think there might be some states where you do have to have certain vaccinations as a kid, because there's like more risk of that virus or that whatever in that state. But like here in Colorado, there's very few bugs in general. Like it's just so dry and cold that they just don't survive well here. And so I've never heard of that here, but I also don't know if I remember hearing about that in Texas. Texas is a weird one because like half the state is very dry and deserty, and the other half, like the southeastern half of the state is a lot more humid and a lot more like Louisiana. So it's a hard one to do. Like it's one of those, so big and so diverse, and not only in climate but in population, that it's like it's hard to make sweeping things that apply to everybody, you know? It's a weird one. I need to merge all my layers because they're getting too... Oh no! Shoot! Hold on. Did I merge my color layer? Ooh, I almost merged my color layer. Oh, so scary. Wait, what is... Hold on. That's what I messed up on. Okay, so that's the color layer. This is the pig layer. Okay, don't merge your color layer, Casey. Let's try that again. Alright, I'm getting better at layer management, guys. So we're gonna draw a wild boar. Let's see, it's 11:30. I'm actually doing pretty good today. Thought I'd been on a lot longer. Let's find one that shows a nice feral pig. Let's get a nice feral pig in profile here. Oh my. I'm not actually sure how many of these are the feral pigs here in the US, but they look about the same. I think a lot of them are like it said, hybrids of the Eurasian wild boar. So these look very like Eurasian boar, I think, to me anyway. Might crop off some of this extra. Oh, I always do that in Clip Studio. I keep forgetting. I need to remap the hotkeys in Clip. I always hit delete like you do in literally every other program. But in Clip Studio, the delete key rotates your canvas. It's very annoying. Where'd my pen go? Okay. Let's draw this dude down here. Okay, and before I forget, I'm gonna post these pictures in Discord. So let me take a screenshot. If you need those, they will be in Discord for you. There's that little ratto. I love this song. If only my voice wasn't so warpy today. Peace. It doesn't do that for you in Clip? Oh, I think I said Clip and I meant to say Sigh. Paint Tool Sigh is what I meant to say. Sorry if I said Clip. I probably did. I'm tired. Perpetually sleep deprived here. I think I put my lunch away. I can't remember. Alright, let's find those shapes. Looks to mostly be a thing in Eurasia with big unconnected... Wait, hold on. TVE. Yeah, it might be. Yeah. Okay, that would make sense that it's more of a Eurasian thing. You have very, very long agriculture long enough for species to adapt. Yeah, that's true. And I feel like most, I don't know. I mean, at this point, I would say almost at this point, we have species that are currently adapting to our urban environments, right? Like that's a thing that's happening now. We know for a fact that rats in America are extremely reliant on humans for their population. If you just look at, did you guys ever see those videos during COVID of New York rats, like going ballistic and fighting each other in the streets, basically because there wasn't the human traffic dropping food and like putting out trash a lot, and like, I mean, there's trash, but like there wasn't like loose garbage and loose food everywhere because of tourism and stuff, and so they were like eating each other because there was like no other food source because people weren't doing the things that we've been doing for hundreds of years, you know. It's interesting. And then like you could make an argument like that raccoons are the same way. I would say coyotes are starting to be like that here in the States. Yeah, it's there's a lot of scavenger species, like just scavenging off of human waste at this point. It's kind of crazy. And India has a huge problem with this, I think. There's so many like feral dogs and feral cats, and like I think they've even started seeing like not jaguars. Is it jaguars? I think it might be. Maybe it is jaguars. No, those are in South America. What is the leopard? Is it a leopard species? There's some kind of big cat species that isn't a tiger. Maybe it's a jaguar. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about? They've been having a lot more issues with animals coming into urban environments to like. Basically, like, I think it's like the jaguars are hunting the feral dogs and cats, kind of like coyotes are starting to do here in the US. Like, we just have a really bad urban coyote problem that's getting worse every year because there's so many, mostly cats, I think. It's largely cats. We have a huge feral cat issue here in the States. Anyway, do you guys know what I'm talking about? I feel like I'm just rambling about something. Maybe no one else knows what I mean. But I feel like I've seen a lot of these videos. Alright, I'm gonna have to back up here because I'm already messing up on this pig. Oh, is it a leopard? India has tigers, but I feel like it's one of the smaller big cats. Maybe it's a leopard. I don't know. Asian leopard? Yeah. Okay, so it's a leopard. Yeah, because the jaguars are the ones that are in South America, I believe. I could be wrong. Honestly, I kind of get them mixed up. Wild boars and feral pigs are not the same. Wild boars are non-domesticated. Feral pigs are from domesticated animals that have escaped. Yes, and then hybridized, yes. So I think the ones in the US are kind of like what Lagomcore was talking about. I think there were Eurasian boars that were introduced for hunting, and they've gone feral. And then we have feral domesticated pigs that have interbred with them. So yeah, it's just like this really big, it's just a big issue. Like, I keep seeing reports, they have like organized, like massive organized boar hunting expeditions now. Like there's no hunting limit, I think, on wild pigs. Like they want hunters to go and take them. I've been told, maybe it depends on the age of the animal, but I've heard mixed things about the taste of wild boar. I've heard that it's not very good, and that's part of why they're having trouble getting people to hunt them, because a lot of people hunt for meat, like to have a cheaper meat source that they can like process and store. Like I know that's why a lot of people do like elk and deer hunting, at least in Colorado. You know, there's trophy hunters too, but I think at least a lot of people I know anyway, it's mostly for the meat. Every once in a while, if they get like a really impressive rack on a deer or something, they might have it taxidermied, but largely it's for meat, for the people I know. But I've heard from my friends and family that do hunt, that when they've done the wild boar hunts, it's just been as like a favor or like for practice, because when, at least I have a cousin, I think it was, that was telling me that he hunted wild boar and they tried to cook it and it was like disgusting and tough and had a weird flavor to it. It didn't taste like pork necessarily, like what we would be used to. And it might just depend on the hybridization of the animal, right? Like if it's like pure Eurasian wild boar, maybe it doesn't taste very good. Whereas if it's like partly domesticated pig, it might taste better. I don't know. Maybe it's just a gamble on like the type of animal you're getting. I'm not sure. I really don't know. But I do know that that's part of the issue. I've heard from a few people that you can't really eat them necessarily. Or I mean, you can, but you just won't enjoy it, and like they're not as useful. And so it's been harder to get people to hunt them, I think. So most people who hunt the wild boar, it's like a trophy hunting thing, or just like they're hired by the state to do like some, or like I've even heard of like farmers in communities, like farmers like basically putting out bounties and like hiring, like, please hunters, we will collectively pay you to hunt this boar for us. Like, we don't have time, or we don't have the, like, you know, we're farming, we're too busy doing this, but they're destroying all of our crops and like breaking our fences, and they're just really, really destructive. So I honestly kind of wonder if they wouldn't be better off. I mean, I don't know, maybe a wild boar might be too much even for a wolf, but because they're so aggressive too is the other problem. I don't think we have any big enough predators that are like consistently hunting these animals. Correct me if I'm wrong. If somebody has time to research any of this and is interested, or just happens to know, I would love to know. But it's not a very good pig. I might need to do another one. Alright, find your shapes, guys, if you are drawing these piggos. I do like pigs, though. Like, they just have fun shapes. I used to draw quite a few warthogs when I was younger. And, like, just boars in general, I think, are really cool looking. I like all their little face bumps. They're very hippo-y. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what they're called, but... Septic! How are you doing? Thanks for joining! We're talking about invasive species today, and we're sketching them while we chat. And I'm mostly just asking questions. Surprise! That never happens. I'm not a question asker. What are you talking about? Also, wild animal meat is more prone to parasites. That's true, and it could be that maybe my cousin got like a bad one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna emphasize this because this shape right here, guys. If you can't see the way that this hair, like, I'm getting mad Cusco vibes. If you guys haven't seen The Emperor's New Groove, it just looks like Cusco's hat. It's so good. Oops, should probably use black. There we go. So I definitely wanna cartoonize that a bit. Maybe I'll stylize this one just for funsies. It's got some really good hair shapes. Like, what a charismatic looking animal, though. Like, problems aside, they're really cool looking. Look at this thing. There's actually some, what are they? There's another name. It's swine, but it's, what's the family name? Shoot, don't tell me. Does it start with a U for them, too? Is it supine? No. Shoot, I'm gonna have to look this up. Wild boar Wikipedia. Wikipedia is so good for taxonomy, guys. It's where I always go. Suidae. That's what I knew. It's like a U or an S. Suidae. It's pigs, hogs, and swine. Yeah. So there are some. I do have some swine in my comic. The one that I'm probably gonna do is the Red River hog. I really like the Red River hog. It's so cute. Wow, look at that one. The giant forest hog is really cool too. The Babirusa. We should draw a Babirusa. It almost looks like a tapir. Look at this creature. This is not a feral hog, and it's also not a naked animal. Is this from India? Where are these from? Indonesia. Ah, interesting, interesting. There's 2 different species. Whoa, this one. Look at this one. That's so crazy. Like, anything that has teeth growing through its face. Yeah, that's an intense animal right there. That's so cool. All right. Today's free-range population. Oof. Oh my gosh, you guys. Do you want to see the picture of the distribution of wild pigs across Texas? This is the distribution. It's literally every county in Texas except for El Paso County, it looks like. I don't even know if that's where El Paso is. I think that is. Which is like the most deserty of the, like, it's the driest part of the state is this little wing right out here. That's crazy. I had no idea that they were everywhere. And like even in the big city areas like Tarrant County. Wow. I grew up in Tarrant County, that's why. I've never seen a wild hog. I've heard about them. I've heard the farmers complain about them. That's insane. Population trends. From 1982 to 2016, the wild pig population in the United States increased from 2.4 million, which is a huge number, to an estimated 6.9 million, with 2.6 of those living in Texas. That's a third of the wild pig population. This is probably why I'm so familiar with this, because I feel like I've heard about this issue for a long time. This is from the Texas Parks and Wildlife website. Here's a picture of a Texas wild hog. So you can see some of the like domestic pig features there. Like it's not totally Eurasian, so this one might be kind of tasty maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure we're drawing a Eurasian wild boar right here. But you can see some of those face wrinkles, slightly bigger, floppier ears, looking a little domestic-y. There's that little rattle. Anyway, wow, fascinating. That's crazy. If anybody wants to read about this, here's a link. I don't know if anyone else likes to nerd about animal things like I do, but there you go, if you want to know more. How are you doing, Septic, by the way? Sorry to be rambling about pigs. Because of warming climate, wild boars are exceeding their range from southern Sweden to north. Oh, okay, yeah. Wow. The first boar was shot 500 years ago. Wow. Yeah, that's what Lagomcore was saying, was it was like a long time ago they were introduced there, right? Is it also the Eurasian wild boar that you guys have an issue with? Is it the same animal? I assume older and male boars, the biggest ones, are less tasty. That's true. That's true. It could be the animal that they're getting. It also kind of has that domesticated fur pattern. Yeah, it does a little bit. You can see it. It just looks like a softer animal than this. You know, like even if you're not super familiar with animal anatomy, I would hope you can kind of see. For me, it's mostly these face wrinkles. Like that just screams domestic pig to me. And the smaller tusks even. Hold on, I have too many things open. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, like this face, it's got a very wild, scruffy look to it. Yeah, for the fur pattern, that's a good point, for sure. Interesting stuff, interesting. But they are fierce. Yeah, I don't think they hunt moose often. They might occasionally take on a young or sick animal, but not a healthy adult. Are you talking about wolves? Wolverines. Wolverines are native to America, but they're mostly in the north. Because wolverines are apparently fierce predators. They usually hunt moose. I mean, honestly, I would say I don't think wolverines make it down south, down to where the pig problem mostly is. Because they do prefer warmer climates, the pigs, and wolverines tend to be in like the northern Rockies. Like in Canada is where I would say. I don't know if we might have wolverines in Colorado, but I don't know that they're very common. Technically, moose are actually an introduced species here, and if you want to get technical, probably an invasive species here in Colorado. They were introduced in the 40s, just because people thought they were majestic, basically. You know, back in the day, how we did. And now they have a pretty big population, and I don't know if they're causing a lot of damage, but I think they do compete with native species for like roughage, you know, because it is a desert here in Colorado. It's hard to find food in the winter months, which are pretty intense up in the mountains. And the elk, actually, so elk used to be a plains species, and all of the agriculture and just human competition and hunting kind of drove them into the mountains, and so they're mostly they live up in the Rockies now, but so they compete, the elk and the moose are competing with like the mule deer and the native deer species here. We still have pronghorns down in the plains area. Those have not migrated north. They seem to be doing pretty well with hopping fences and chewing grass alongside cows and stuff. It makes me wonder if they would do that with like bison, if we ever reintroduce bison in the US, which I kind of hope we do someday, to be honest. I think it'd be really cool. Maybe not in Colorado, but since we already have such a limited supply of roughage. But, you know, like in the plains area. Although it would be hard because I guess we use the plains for farming here in the States, so there's probably not a ton of, maybe the western plain or the eastern plains of Colorado we could do buffalo. It's basically Kansas at that point. As much as I'm sure eastern Coloradans do not appreciate that. I'm sure there's some state rivalry going on there. Do you guys ever think about how we replaced tribalism with like sports Do you guys ever think about that? I was just thinking about state rivalries and how they're kind of like every state sort of has a rivalry with like whatever state closest borders them, or like if you're on this side of the state, you're kind of like Texas and Oklahoma are like but mostly in the north. And then like in the south, it's more like, I would imagine like Louisiana and Texas. And then like, I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. Like Colorado and Kansas definitely have like a rivalry thing going on. There's not enough people in Wyoming, I don't think, for there to be a rivalry there. And then like same thing with Utah. Like the part of Utah that borders Colorado is mostly it's not mostly unpopulated, but like it's just mostly like parks and nature, and like there's not a lot of like people until you get to like Salt Lake City, which is way on the other side, I think. I don't know, I kind of think about how it's like, oh, instead of being mad about, you know, this tribe or that tribe, we can just have sports be like a stand-in for like for like our innate tribalism. That's kind of what I chalk up everyone's obsession with sports to. It's just like, it's feeding that innate desire to like have some kind of an us versus them. Which, to be fair, like of all the ways we could be tribal, I feel like sports is probably the healthiest way, so I'm like okay with it. It's far better than being tribal about like lifestyles or politics or other things that all they do is create more problems, I feel like. But anyway, I don't know why I was thinking about that just now. Oh, because we were talking about bison in the eastern part of Colorado. That's why. Gotcha. Caught myself up to my own train of thought there. Alright, I like the scruffy little dude. I overemphasized the scruff and the wiry hairs here. I like his little tusk whiskers. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing, but that's really funny. There's so many like fun details you learn when you're working from reference, guys. Like, I could totally use that in a drawing sometime. Yeah, like the Olympics, right? Like, that's kind of like our stand-in for like, hey, instead of war, let's just compete this way. I'm here for it, guys. More sports, less war. Like, I don't even like watching sports, but I'm here for it if it means less war. Can't we all just get along? Alright, there we go. I probably shouldn't, but I do kind of want to color this guy. I'm gonna go play with it in a different program though, real quick. So, let's just copy. I'm gonna open up Clip Studio for a second because I need to get more familiar with that. Oh, actually, hold on. I got a whole bunch of brushes the other day from someone that I want to practice with, so let's do that one. Close. No, don't save them, it's okay. Don't look amazed. Avert your eyes. Avert your eyes. Oh yeah, I totally forgot I need to finish that picture. Shoot, I lost my photo. So I actually got some really great brushes from Zikawa the other day. She actually raided in here on Wednesday, which was super cool. And she has this really nice free brush pack. I highly recommend going and grabbing that. Let me give her a shout out really fast so that you guys can find that. If anyone is using Photoshop, you can also use these brushes in Clip Studio. So I recommend checking them out. They are some of the better paint brushes that I've found for Photoshop specifically. Oh shoot, let me see if I can remember how to do a shout out. One second. Let me try the other shout out. Did that work? Yeah, it did work. Go ahead and check out her channel and click her page. I'd recommend, if you're not already following her, give her a follow. She does a lot of work for, I think, Riot, actually. But, oh, thank you, Hans. I appreciate that follow. Thank you, thank you. Welcome to my stream. I'm working from reference to draw a piggy. Doing some practicing here. And I was just talking about these great brushes that I found on Zikawa's channel. So if anyone is looking for some good Photoshop or Clip Studio brushes, do go check her stuff out. And I find her work, she's really relaxing to draw to. She does a lot of wait, why isn't my... She does a lot of game work, like game design and stuff. Oh, for some reason this opened in grayscale. That's weird. Hold on, let me cancel everything. Delete you, delete you. Why did it... That's weird. No. RGB thinks. Okay, let's try this again. But I've really enjoyed these brushes. They're, like I said, some of the better ones that I've seen. For these programs, anyway. Oh, thank you! Hans, you're so sweet! Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for that. That's so encouraging to me. I really appreciate it. I've just recently gotten back into streaming here on Twitch over the last month or so. And it's been really cool meeting everybody and like meeting people like you who are so kind and supportive. So thank you for those follows and thank you for just stopping in to say that. That's so nice. You just made my morning. Thank you. I hope you can come back sometime and hang out. We usually do these warm-up streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I will be streaming again later today if you're around, but no pressure. Thank you for being interested. Very kind, very kind. Yeah, your chat about animals. Thanks. Yeah, it's Invasive Species Week this week, so I figured we'd do some sketch themes. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who's into that. So thank you for affirming that I'm not just rambling for no purpose here. Appreciate you. Yeah, tomorrow's warm-up stream will be at the same time. But tonight's stream is going to be in about 4 hours actually. I need to get off soon because I'm going to be back on soon to do a longer painting. Oh, and I forgot to make my announcement. So I was talking about this on Discord, and you're welcome to join the Discord if you'd like, but I got a... I think I can say it now because it's official. She hasn't told me I can't say anything, so I'm just gonna beg for forgiveness, right? So I'm working with a YouTuber that I've followed for like years and years. It's, she does like a homesteading YouTube channel. I feel like she's one of the bigger homesteading YouTube channels, at least that I know of. It's kind of niche, but she has like 80,000 followers, which is kind of cool. And she got really famous for her goats. Like, she talks a lot about like breeding small Nigerian goats on a small property. Oh, but sorry, to finish answering your question, yes, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm so sorry. I get kind of squirrely and nerd out on stuff. My brain jumps a lot from topic to topic, so I apologize. I wasn't trying to annoy you, Hans. But yes, tomorrow at the same time, I will be streaming warm-up sketches. We'll probably be doing cars of some kind tomorrow. But since it's an Invasive Species Week, I thought it would be kind of fun. I might just throw, kind of like we did last week if you, oh, you weren't here. It was, I can't make words, I'm sorry. It was Love Your Pet Day, and I needed to practice cars, so I drew pets and cars. So I was thinking maybe we could think of some other invasive species to do the rest of this week, and maybe I'll draw, like, I'll be drawing like trucks and tanks and work vehicles, that kind of thing, for tomorrow and Wednesday's warm-ups. But maybe I'll do like an iguana driving a tow truck or something, or like, you know, just like something silly like that. So that's what I'll be up to. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. I'm so honored to have you. Oh, here's that picture I was looking for. Of course, it doesn't work correctly here. I'll just pull it over from Twitter. Yeah, so we did this. So I'll probably do something like this just because I sometimes need extra motivation to draw vehicles because I don't always draw them and they're not my favorite. So I'm thinking I might do that. So if anyone has other invasive species that are maybe less known or that would be funny to see in a vehicle, let me know. Maybe I should do like a plant species. I don't know. Or maybe I'll do like a, what is that called? Like a decal of like a tumbleweed or something on a truck. I don't know. Well, there's all kinds of ways to work in invasive species, but it is Invasive Species Awareness Week. So if you're interested in that, you know, look into it. See what's invasive in your area. See if there's anything you can do to help. Or just, you know, talk about it. Sometimes people just, you know, especially people who release their pets. A lot of times, I understand you think you're helping the animal because you're not having it put down or you're not sending it to a bad home. But one, you know, the wild is dangerous. Like it's probably going to get injured or eaten or have a shorter lifespan. 2, it's a domesticated animal, or at least it's grown up in domestication, so it doesn't have survival skills. So you're basically setting it up for failure. And then 3, it's going to compete with native species and really make it harder for wild animals to survive. And that's part of how we've had so many species going endangered. So just, even just talking about invasive species things, I think is helpful, because a lot of people just don't think about it, and I get it. Like I said, if you're just a casual pet owner and you haven't done a lot of research, you just may not know that you're actually not helping your animal. You're probably hurting your animal. Just give it up to a sanctuary, like find a rescue. There's places you can take it that aren't the wilderness. It's a little bit of extra work, but you knew having an exotic animal was going to be extra work. So don't be irresponsible. I don't know. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. It was great to meet you, Hans. Hopefully we'll see you another time. I'm glad you like squirreling. There's a lot of squirreling around here. Squirreling! That's what I should have done for my rant alert. Maybe I'll change it. Yeah. Maybe I'll change it to like the Doug from Up going like, squirrel! Squirrel! I do like that. Alright, anyway. Let me catch up on chat really fast. Our sports team rivalries are like between different cities or even different regions in Stockholm. Yeah, interesting. So Europeans don't have that between countries? Like countries, I thought, maybe I'm just thinking of like the UK. Because I know in the UK, like the, Ireland versus England, like that's a big deal. And a lot of that's historic, right? Like pretty recent history. So I get that. But I would think it would be like, Germany versus, like whatever, I don't even know what's by Germany. I'm so sorry. Europe, Belgium. I don't know how close that is. Or like France versus Germany, or like, like the big countries. I would think that they would be. Is it really not like that? Swear jar. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for watching that. Fierce and Wolverine are pretty much the same word. Interesting. Wow, that's so cool. I didn't know that. Native to America, judging from the look on Wikipedia, they go from Northern Europe across Russia and the Bering Strait across North America. Yeah. Do they... It kind of has that... Yeah, hold on. Septic, I missed your intro. I'm so sorry. Today was a long day energy-wise, so I'm drained. And don't apologize for bringing me out of lurk. I'm shocked. Kibbies. Kibbies? What's a kibby? Tell me your secret word. I'm shocked that kibbies. Oh, kitty! Like you mean kitties? Yes, cats are an invasive species. I think it's feral cats. Most of this is Australia, to be honest. Poor Australia. But yeah, there's like a lot of issues with feral cats in Australia. Oh, and I scrolled away from my announcement again. Hold on. Let me finish catching up on chat and I will get back to that. Wild boars have been gone for 500 years. Now they're coming back. Oh, I see. It's wild to me, almost all felt the same type of... Yeah, and the same ear shape and like cuter facial features. I kind of wonder, Lagomcore, if some of that isn't because they have fewer stressors. So they don't need like as good of hearing. They don't need to have like super thick hides. They don't need, like, they're protected by humans. And so the traits that would help them survive are kind of naturally bred out over time because they just aren't needed. Like, and I'm always curious how much of that is like active biology and just like selective breeding. Do you know what I mean? Because I've heard that your genes can be impacted even by what you eat for the next generation, right? And so like how much of that is happening in the lifetime of the animal? It's like, oh, the things that it's being fed, the way it's being treated are actually affecting its genes a little bit to the point that its offspring are no longer gonna like have this trait, or they're gonna have more of this trait. I mean, there's definitely plenty of human selection for like, you know, more passive animals and more friendly animals and more social animals. So like that becomes a thing. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's interesting stuff. So a boar has shot. Interesting. I didn't know that, Charlie's Dragon. Remind me what country you're in. I know you're up in like Scandinavia, right? I'm pretty sure. Moose are just traps with short necks. A lot of moose where you live and you're more scared of them. Yes, moose are terrifying. They're the only animal that can kick sideways. It's crazy. Yeah, no worries. It looks in Norway at Denmark, never mind. Yeah, I feel like there is a little bit of rivalry, right? Sure. Have an absolutely fabulous day. Oh, thank you, Hans. I'm sure you've already left, but I appreciate you popping in. Go to sleep. Go to sleep. We'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Searches up why aforementioned subject of cats being invasive species. It's very complex. Yes, it's so complex. Yeah, it's really interesting. Invasive car species. Oh man. Okay, quick. You have 10. Like, what's the invasive car species in your area? Like, what car have you started seeing more of lately? That's just like. Can we say Teslas are an invasive car species? Should I draw an iguana driving a Tesla? I think that would be kind of funny. And ironic in a few ways, maybe. Everyone chat. Yeah, you're so nice, Hans. Yeah, go play Stardew. We'll see you later. Thank you so much for stopping in. You can always change it. Change what? I missed something. Maybe just add a variety of rambles. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll do like an alert Casey is rambling and then like squirrel alert. I do like that movie. Okay, so back to my story. I think I caught up. Kibby is not. Oh, it's cute. I've never heard it, but I do like it. Yeah, cats. Is it? I think it's like in Australia, especially, and a lot of islands. So like any island ecosystem is always really fragile, right? So there's a lot of these. We were talking earlier about the extinction of the dodo being largely in part due to the introduction of rats and the rats eating their eggs. There's just like really unexpected consequences, right, when you introduce a species to an area that nothing there evolved to like to have anything to do with it, you know? Like the animals just don't have those defenses. But yeah, cats, I mean, I feel like the really obvious one is cats oftentimes are going to be hunting local species, and even if they're not endangered, they can be, there's plenty of species like frogs especially that have been shown to have been directly impacted by kills from domestic cats. And like now we have a lot more frog species that are endangered, not only for climate change, but just because they have way more predation by an animal that doesn't need to eat them, but is killing them. You know, like this is just play for a lot of domestic cats. A lot of times they don't eat them, like they're being fed kibble, so they're not being driven by a prey drive. Now the feral cats are a different story. They are obviously hunting to eat a lot of the time. But they shouldn't have to. Like, you know, we introduced those animals, and so we need to take care of our feral cat, like domesticated cat problem is a big one for sure. Yeah, so we did cats, rats, and boars today, or wild pigs, I guess I should say. I'm kind of making this one up a little bit. I should probably actually look at the reference. I'm just really enjoying this brush, to be honest. If you didn't already, definitely go check out Zikawa's brushes. There's some really good ones in there. And like I said, she's fun to watch. If you ever wanted to see like game art being designed and worked on, I think she teaches a course as well. Like actually in person. I think she actually works at an art school. That's actually how she and I like started talking a bit, was I found out she was a teacher, and so we talked about teacher things, but she's obviously teaching at a much higher level than I did. But it is interesting, some of the parallels for sure. But yeah, these are great brushes, so check them out. This one's a fur brush that comes with, and it's just nice that her pack comes with for free. It's a free pack, by the way. And it's a nice place to start, you know. Kind of lay in your loose stuff and then go back in and do. For anybody who's not familiar with digital work, like your brushes can really have a pretty big impact. So this is the brush I'm using. Like if I push hard, it's like this. If I push soft, it's like this. So because it's streaky like that, it does like a really nice job blending. And it also does a nice job laying in fur texture. So don't be afraid to experiment with your brushes if you aren't, because you can find some that are really good in ways you wouldn't expect. Okay, I googled kibbles immediately. Yeah, because kibble, so septic, kibble here is like food. we call like cat food and dog food kibble. Like there's actually a food brand called Kibbles and Bits. That's why I was like, kibble. What do you mean? Oh, regional lexicons. So exciting. Maybe just, yeah, I will do that, Raga, thank you. I hate sports, so I don't know much about what teams people care about. Yeah, I'm not a big sports watcher. I like playing like I'll play a pickup game of something with friends, but I feel like that happens so rarely once you leave school, number one, or like college or anything. Like people just don't get together to play games like that. And especially since COVID, it's been like really hard to get people together to do things like that for some reason. So I think we're just creatures of habit, you know, and we got out of the habit of doing those things. But as far as like watching sports, like I grew up playing soccer. That was like my sport as a kid, and I really loved it. I thought I was going to be a soccer coach when I was a kid because I liked it so much. But I don't really play soccer anymore. I have a friend that played volleyball in high school, and so she gets people together to play volleyball sometimes, but we haven't even done that in like a year. Well, they do it sometimes, but they always play at like midnight. There's like some place here where you can rent a court, and it starts at like 10 p.m. for some reason, and I don't know. I can't. I have too much work to do. Like I can't be up that late, so I gotta get up early. I wish I could join them. I wish they didn't always play at midnight. Maybe in the summer we'll start playing again outside. I hope so. I like the excuse to be active, especially like when I'm off on Sundays. It's nice to not sit around all day, which is part of why I do movie nights later, so I have the opportunity to go outside if I need to or if I can. Right now it's winter, so I haven't been getting out as much, but Piggo, little Piggo, look at you, so cute. Too bad you are so invasive. From what I've heard, at least in dogs, is that we breed out adult traits and make the genes keep traits only present in the pup stage. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that. I'm not sure how do you verify that that's because we're doing it and not because the animal doesn't really need the alert ears of a wild animal. Do you know what I mean? Because like in foxes, that happened really fast. That happened way too fast, I think, for it to be just us selecting for cute shaped ears, you know, or like selecting for traits. I mean, I guess it could have been, but it just seems like a lot of domesticated animals, they tend to revert to that. And maybe it has something to do with like them having more of like a parasitic relationship with us. Like the ones that can learn like, oh, if I please the human by acting a certain way or doing a certain thing, then I get the thing I want. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I have heard that before. Yeah. Okay. Smart jargon. Yeah, it's a little much, yeah. Let's see. American Jeeps, rentable scooters. Yeah, those do seem like invasive. Ooh, a scooter would be funny. Should I do it? Maybe tomorrow I'll draw a camel on a scooter. Yeah, I thought my bot usually catches those swears. I'm not sure why it isn't right now. I'll look into that later, but no worries. I'm not too worried about it right now. I'm trying to think of other. I was thinking Jeeps too, Lagom Core for sure. Like see, like here in Colorado, they're just kind of like people use them for what they're intended for. So I don't know if I'd call it an invasive species here, but an invasive car model for other parts of the States. I feel like there's a lot of places that complain about Subarus because like you don't really need a Subaru for a lot of the country. Like I got one again because they're useful in my state, but I had a Ford Focus before I got my Subaru, and it just wasn't like, it was unsafe to drive, so that's what eventually made me break down and get an actual like car that's good to drive on ice. But like somewhere like Florida, like you don't need a Subaru. Like there's way more fuel efficient cars to drive, you know? I feel like SUVs in general have a tendency to be like, yeah, maybe just big cars. Maybe I'll do like, ooh, I know a good one, like a monster truck. Those are a big thing in Texas, like with some circles in Texas. I never really see them outside of the South, but I feel like that'd be a funny one to do. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. That's a good idea. I'm glad we had this conversation. Thank you for your ideas. I will take them. All right. Okay. I think I'm good here. I'm probably just I don't want to do my next thing. Oh, but my announcement. I forgot to make it. Okay, I'm gonna make it really fast, and then I'm gonna head out soon. So I have like I was saying, a YouTuber that I follow for a long time, who I've been a big fan of, and she's mostly known for goats. I actually did a series of stickers that I'll show you guys based on her goats. And I had them, I mean, they're only available on Patreon right now. I don't sell them or anything. But I'll be doing more of these. Let me show you the ones that I have. If I can find them. Shoot, where are they? Stickers, here we go. Okay. Gosh, I still haven't uploaded any of these. Oops. Why are they like this? But I'll be doing more of these because I sent her, just because I'm a fan, I sent her a gift of like printed vinyl versions of these stickers. So here they are all together, the ones that I have right now. And so I sent them as like a Christmas present and was just like, hey, I'm a big fan, thought you might like these. I made them a while ago. Here you go. And she found me on Instagram and was like, oh my gosh, I love these. I would like to commission some more so we can sell them in my shop. So I'm really excited. So I'm going to be working on more goats. So if you're a goat fan, there's going to be some goat stickers on stream soon. The YouTuber, I don't know if anyone else out there follows any homesteading YouTubers, but it's Weed'em and Reap. I met a few people who know who she is. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of a big deal, I feel like, at least for me. I'm excited about it. I will, if you're interested in learning more about homesteading on a small property in the desert, basically. Yeah, her videos are really interesting, so I'll link that here in chat. But yeah, so I'll be working with them to make more goat stickers. So I'm probably going to be streaming that next month. I need to double check that I think it's okay to stream, but just in case, I'm going to double check. Or maybe I'll just like ask forgiveness afterwards. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so that's my big announcement. I'm excited about it. I'm not sure what the crediting situation will look like, but I'm hoping there will be at least like a link back or something in the shop. And who knows, you know, could turn into something, we'll see. There we go, there's the piggy lineup. All right, let me double check. Oops, sorry, this song is probably really loud. I apologize. There we go, slightly quieter. So let me double check what tomorrow's warm-ups are, and also what I think I'm gonna be doing later today. I need to actually get off stream and go ahead and invoice her for this, but yeah, it's exciting. Let's see, schedule, stream schedule, okay. Yeah, so I don't really have anything particular planned for this afternoon, so I'll probably either work on my illustrations that I started last time, which are these guys. Probably this one, honestly. I kind of want to keep going on the whales. So if when I stream later today, it'll likely be this. If you would like to come back and watch me work on this image, more than likely that's what I'll be doing. Who knows? I may do something else. You never know with me. But that's kind of the general plan right now, is to, you know, I am trying to be an illustrator, so I need some illustrations in my portfolio, not just sketches of animals. Although this was inspired by our warm-up sketches last week. We did whales for International or World Whale Day. So you never know. Draw from reference and get inspired, guys. But I'll probably be working on this painting, doing some tweaking, and need to fix the background is just like a blob. I need to figure out what's actually back there, and adjust some things. But you know, it's a SketchUp. We're working on it. It's rough. So come back later if you want to see this. I'll be streaming again in like 4 hours. So if you're around and you're not sleeping and you want to hang out and watch some art get made, come on back. But thank you guys for coming today to the warm-up stream. I'll leave it on this little pig picture since that's what we did. But yeah, it was fun. Fun to talk about invasive species. Looking forward to tomorrow drawing some, let's see, tomorrow is trucks/work vehicles. So I might do like some fire engines, I might do some construction vehicles, that kind of thing, some like maybe a monster truck or two. We'll see what I have time for, but I would like to do at least one that has like an invasive species in it. So if you find out about any more invasive species that you think would be fun to draw, right now I'm thinking like iguana, camel, because that's an interesting one. But yeah, let me know. I'll happily add them to my picture. But for now, let's go find someone else to raid. Thank you guys for being here, and thanks Amaze for dropping all of those links in chat. If you aren't in my Discord and you would like to be, feel free to join it. If you want to follow me on social media, you can do that there. Let me find there it is, my stream credits link. And let's go see who is on. See if there is an artiste that I can raid. Oh, there's a lot of people on. Okay, hold on. Now I gotta make a decision. Who should we raid? Videos. Stream manager. There we go. Who shall we raid? Star Freckles is cute. Oh, Jay's on. Maybe we should raid Jay Stiller. I'm really feeling some Jay Stiller art today. I know I raid him a lot, guys, but I really like watching him work. It's always such beautiful landscapes. So if you haven't followed Jay Stiller yet, come with me to raid him. I think, yeah, like I want to be him. He's so good at what he does. Very, very inspirational stuff. So if you want to come watch a really, really beautiful digital environments being painted, join me over on Jay's stream. It's a good time. It's a good time. And yeah, we'll see you again either this afternoon or tomorrow. So until then, guys, if you have any drawings that you want to share, if you were sketching along, feel free to share them in my Discord. I'd love to see them. But let's go see what